for the opportunity for invite. My name is Igor de Souza. I'm currently a software engineer in the data engineering team. My background is Java. It's 1 year and a half or almost 2 years that I work with Kotlin. And as Rafael said, I organize the IT group that has over 13,000 members and the last almost 11 years. And is more or less what I learn and I get and I collect from this group that I want to talk today. At IGFA Souza, you can find me all social networks. So please follow me there. Uh, so I came with a fancy title when the career path and the fun overlap. So it's kind of a self-help talk, motivation talk. Hopefully, on the end, you guys are going to be able to understand how to add fun in your career and have fun, or perhaps fun in your life. I will talk about some concepts. So, how to overcome your fears, like don't put barrier for yourself, the importance of communications, writing, reading, and creativity. Uh, I will talk about what to do after the seniority, like how from senior go to staff plus. A little bit of CV, interview, salary negotiation, and a little bit of working abroad. So lots of topics. So I will try to give some insights on each one of those. And just a disclaimer here, I know a lot of people that watch and did the mentoring with Rafael, and I might end up saying things that is completely the opposite what he said. So I'm not here for saying I'm right, he's wrong, or vice versa. It's just different opinions. There is no silver bullet, so there is no right and wrong. Open your mind and get whatever makes sense for you. So the first thing is overcome your fear. So here is two pictures of me playing with skating, inline skates. So overcome your fear. So you need to unblock yourself, like imposter syndrome. So everybody has afraid that I don't know the things. Like, believe me, everybody has the same fear of if I have a task, if I delay to deliver a task, I have the fear that, oh my God, they are going to fire me, the company is going to fire me. So everyone has the same fears, everybody has the same fear. So unlock yourself. You need to fight with this, you need to win over yourself. Don't put barriers of yourself. It's really common. People say, oh, my English is not good, or my Java is not the best one, or I don't know too much about Spring or Kubernetes or whatever. So never ever put barriers for yourself. Never ever say bad things about yourself. Don't compare yourself with the others. You're not going to be the best ever. It's always going to be someone better than you. So, the other guy in my team delivered more tasks, more story points. He's faster, he delivered better, so I'm not going to be promotion. Don't do it that. Compare yourself with yourself yesterday. I'm better than myself yesterday. Yes, so then it's good. I'm not. So what I can do for be better than myself, what was yesterday. So unblock yourself. Don't put barriers for yourself. And one of the main techniques or things that you can use in your life is communication. Here I put pictures of me doing some talks in an old company and an event in a park where I was talking with kids how to do robots in small cars and cardboard. So communication is about confidence. Even when you talk about different links, for example, I'm not an English speaker and I'm able to speak in English. You need to be confident. Confident. You're never going to be 100%. You are going to say wrong things. You're going to make wrong prepositions or wrong assessments, but doesn't matter. It's about be confident. Make yourself to be understood or to be understand. Don't judge yourself. Never ever say, oh, sorry, my English is not. Don't do it. That make yourself be understood. And one scenario, for example, works with me a long time ago. I was talking about gin, and then the guy was like, gin. I don't drink. I prefer a beer, but man, I was talking about gym, the place that you go for exercise. And I was gym, and the guy doesn't understood. But of course, as I said, I'm not native English speaker, and the words are similar. There's loads of scenarios. So make yourself understand. You don't know the word, but you explain. Do you know that place that people go for doing exercise, for create muscles, for be strong, for take pictures of mirror, for doing Instagrams? Okay, the gym. Yes, was exactly the same thing that I said, but perhaps my pronunciation was not the best. So make yourself to be understood, and then confidence, and you're going to achieve your goals. So the now that we are kind of post-pandemic or middle of the pandemic, everybody started to work in remote. And then one of the main points of the communication is writing. Writing is a craft, so you need practice. So write without fear. Write even if no one is reading, just write. And a good way to do it, as I said, is a craft, is practicing. Rafael said about the Pomodoro technique, so you can do it, Pomodoro, dividing in few slots, like do one in the morning, one after lunch, and one afternoon, 25 minutes, half an hour, 20 minutes, doesn't matter, just do it, keep consistent. And it's craft, so you need practice and practice and practice. It's better doing every day small pieces than trying to in one day or that Saturday or Sunday or on the weekend do 80 hours of writing or dividing a small piece and keep doing. And then add some focus. So here is a picture of me. I like to play with hardware. I focus on Java, and I do data with Kafka analysis and things. So I usually to play hockey. So why not? I can build a kind of a hockey board that I can press in my stick handle, and the same way I can show a project that's fun, that's people can join, create a game at the top. So I create a niche because now it's not only Java, it's Java and hardware or Java and Kafka or combination of the three ones. So find or add your focus. When you say, my focus is just Java, Java is too broad. Java is huge. There is loads of things that you can talk about. Java could be frameworks, could be data structure, could be new functionalities, could be JET. So it's too broad. So you end up not covering everything, and you don't have your focus. And when you put your focus now is not only Java, it's Java and hardware. So the group is small. It's more difficult to find people, but the group is small. So when people search by Java and Raspberry Pi, for example, because the group is small, you have more relevance. So you are part of a small group, so your relevance increase. So add your focus and try to find what you like. I like hockey, I like hardware, I like Java, I like Kafka, and so add your focus and focus on that thing. And then, of course, on the idea is add your fun. So I can just create an example that retrieve data from sensors, but here I retrieve data from the same sensor. It's the same code basically, but it's a game. So the car runs and giving position of the track, velocity, position, and things like that. So I'm doing the same simple demo that is just retrieve data from the sensor, but I add my fun. I add my scenario on the top. So here I can talk about the car. I can play against each other. I play against kids. I can create a machine learning that try to calculate the best way to drive the car, create the best lap, track the time, and so on and so on. So I kind of add my fun. And because it's fun and I enjoy it, so when I talk about the project, I enjoy talking. I enjoy what I did. I enjoy playing with. And when I talk about it, people say this as a passion. So people say, look, that guy is really passionate about what they're doing. But in fact, it's fun for me. It's something that I like it to do. I don't do it because the others ask it. I don't do it because I have it to do it. I do it because I like it. And then is when you add fun in your career, you're doing something because you have fun, because you like it to do it. Another way to add fun is like I'm going to write a blog. I can do some jokes on blogs. I can talk about small things. For example, uh, Just League, Batman and Wonder Woman, they need help. They are arguing about micro profile versus Jakarta. Batman wants to go for NoSQL Jakarta specification. Wonder Woman wants to use Micronaut data. So you put some kind of fun on the top of a article or a blog, and then when people read it, there is kind of a nice introduction or a kind of a scenario around. Oh, nice! They talk about Just League, about Batman versus Wonder Woman. Actually, Rafael do this on Code Challenge a lot, like loads of challenges. He used like Simpsons or Star Wars or Star Trek. Actually, we did a talk together about Star Trek. So add your fun, make the things more readable, or make the things more like catchy. And then share is caring. Share everything. There is a nice technique that works really well with old colleagues. So let's say you move company, and you kind of lose contact with the old colleagues, but you know you had a boss or a old colleague that likes Kafka. So every time that you see something nice about Kafka, share with him, like private. Share with him on LinkedIn. Share with him a direct mention, whatever, WhatsApp, whatever you want. For you, it's like I share the content. I lost 30 seconds of my life copying the URL and passing the URL for someone on my WhatsApp and press send. I lost maybe 10 seconds of my life doing. But for the other person, it's like, what the heck? I receive a message from my old colleague. The guy remembers me. He sends something that makes sense for me. It's about Kafka that we usually work with Kafka, or it's about Kafka that he knows that I like it. And then this gives you kind of a trust, gave you the visibility, gives you a sense of you care about the others. Share and you can share everywhere, right? You can share social media, you can share in events, you can meetups, you can do talks, you can do everything. So share, and share. And then there is a famous book, Show Your Work. So the idea is share everything and share small things every day. And the idea of sharing small things is people care about what you're doing. Share your errors, share what you're trying, share everything, because people like not the end result, like they want to see your journey. So if you share and show your journey, this is what people like. And again, once you're doing for fun, people will see as you are a passion. So don't do it because you needed to do it. Don't do it because someone said for you to do it. Do it something you like it. And then more important, show your fun, show your power, show what you're doing, why, what you're doing. The second point that is really important is reading. Again, reading it is a craft. So you need practice. You can do the same technique as writing, dividing in small tasks. Do Pomodoro, do one in the morning, do one after lunch, do one afternoon. It's better than doing 3 times a day than doing all the weekend, 8 hours in a row. So we split the things. It's about like you practice your mental muscles. So do it is slow. Again, don't start like crazy, go slow. But reading, you can read blog posts, you can read Medium, Discord, you can find, after you find your focus, go ahead and try to find people that is like you. I like Raspberry Pi and Java. So the group is small. Maybe it's more difficult to find people, but over time, if you're patient and if you search, you're going to find people that likes Java and Raspberry Pi. Find them, talk with them, go on the meetups, go on Slack, go on hackathons, go on events, do talks, promote, talk with people, do connections. On the end, life is moving by connections, right? So force your reading and keep consistent. And then there is the second book, by coincidence, is the same author. It's still like artists. So if you see one idea, for example, I see a blog post that the guy was talking about how to change the font size. And then I see a second blog post that is how to change the font color. So why not I can create an article that says how to change the color and the font size in the same time. So in theory, I'm doing whatever the other's doing, but I combining the ideas. So kind of I steal the idea in a nice way. And again, here I can add my fun on the top. Why my article is different. Everything already exists, right? So you're not going to be able to write about anything because everything already exists. So put your fun on the top. Put your passions. People will see as a passion, but put your fun. Do it because you like it. So you combine two ideas. Every blog post that I saw on the internet, I thinking about, can I do it the same way, but on the top of Raspberry Pi? Can I do it the same way and add Java? Or can I do it with Kafka, even if it doesn't make sense? Or can I combine the three ones and do it everything together? So always look for ideas, look whatever the others are doing, combine them and do your version. And then here is a picture of my background on my website. Creativity is a craft as well. So press your creativity. To increase your creativity is a combination of reading and find the people. So go ahead on Twitter, Mastodon, Discord, what, email groups or email forums. Find the people that likes whatever you likes. The people has similar focus as you. As I said, my focus is Java, Raspberry Pi, and Kafka. So sometimes I found people that likes Java and Kafka. Sometimes I found people that like Java and Raspberry Pi. Sometimes I find people that's just Java or it's just Kafka or just Raspberry Pi. So a combination of those. Find these people, talk with them, follow them, engage with them. Creativity spreads it. Read the blogs. Once you start reading every day, you're going to find more opportunities, find more ideas, combine, then explore your creativity. Again, put your fun on top. Put your fun makes that thing like I'm doing because I like it. I'm not doing because I saw. I'm not doing because someone asked it. And then here is another picture of me doing kind of a LED display. So I can do kind of we usually joke, right? When you play with hardware, the hello word on the hardware is blinking a LED. It's kind of the hello word in the hardware part, right? So I can do several examples where I turn on, turn off, I blink, I shadow, or I purge a LED. But why not? I put my fun on top. My fun. If I discover that there is a small magnifying glass from Lego that if I put it behind the LCD, create some kind of projections. So can I project the face of the Lego toy? Can I project and build a ghost in a cardboard or a toy in a cardboard? You see the picture is a little bit dark because on the with the lights the picture doesn't get too much. So the same idea. On the end, my code is the same one. I just turn on, turn out a LED, or I just blink a LED. But I put my fun. So now I have a history around. Look, I can show this for kids. I can show this for anyone. Say, look, and everybody looks, no, really nice. You put Lego, you have hardware, you nice, nice, nice. And they see as, man, that guy has a really good passion. He likes what he's doing. So this is about do it because you like it, put your fun, and people will see as a passion. And then you think like, okay, I already a senior. I don't know what to do with my life. I try to learn a second language, doesn't work. I try to follow uh, uh, maps, guide maps, or read books. I'm not progressing. I'm not progressing. So to progress for going from senior to staff plus, and I work it. I will talk about this in a few slides, but I work in a big cloud company as a principal staff for 3 years ish, and I left the company for another company where I'm just senior developer. So don't think about the seniority level, but try to. The idea here is focus to grow, right? Focus on the basic. And when I say the basic, for example, I already learned Java, right? I can start learning Python or JavaScript or whatever, any other language. But it's going to give me a benefit, but not too much. The way to give a good benefit is if I focus in another paradigm. For example, I learned Java that is object oriented. But if I learn any other language that is force me to learn procedural style or paradigm, or if I learn any other language that is going to force me to learn the functional style, or if I try to learn data-oriented programming, that learning is going to give me a big growth. It's going to open my mind. So try to learn the basics. Try to learn something that is different than what you're doing. As I said, as a Java developer, learning Python not going to give me too much knowledge, not going to open my mind, not going to make things different. So focus on the small things, the basic, learning the basic straight data structure, learning about the techniques, and then compare with whatever you learn in the new language with the other language. For example, Java is releasing virtual threads. Virtual threads is basically coroutines. There is the implementation of coroutines in another languages. Compare them. As I said, there is almost 2 years that I work as a Kotlin. And when I start to work as a Kotlin, my mind just opened a lot. I usually work with Scala long time ago, 5 to 6, 7 years ago, and I learned a lot. So then you compare patching method in that language, how I implement anonymous classes on anonymous variables or anonymous methods, how I pass a function as a parameter for another functions, why I have this in Scala, why I don't have this in Java, and then you learn, then you grow. That's when you grow. Don't bother follow roadmaps. Like, roadmaps are good for seeing the topics, but follow step by step, trying to learn everything, not going to give you a big growth, not going to grow in your life. And again, focus of what makes sense for you. No one is able to learn everything, so don't try to learn everything. Focus on whatever is makes sense for you. It's the same about books. If you start reading a book, you don't need to read cover to cover. The book has an index, right? So go in the index, the table of contents, find whatever makes sense for you. Just go in that thing. So expose yourself. More you expose yourself, more chances you have to grow. As I said, life is about connections, right? So join the community, join the email groups, join the Slack, the Telegram, Discord, go in meetups, go in events, hackathons, share your knowledge, share about whatever, right? They want your journey. Share whatever you're studying, share your errors, share your goals, put your fun on the top, show your fun, share your fun, talks and everything. And then once you start to uh, apply, here is a picture of CV, it's just an illustration. Don't bother about whatever is on the CV. But talking about CV, right? The idea of CV is, some countries we have this in mind. The CV should be small, only 1, 2 page. Some countries they say the opposite. No, CV should be 6, 7. If you have 10 years experience, the CV should have at least 7. So there is no right and wrong. It's subject. If you ask 10 people, they are going to give you 10 different answers. But thinking about less mean more. Thinking about doing whatever makes sense, right? So there is a STAR technique: situation, text, activity, and result. I'm not going to explain. You can Google about STAR technique. You're going to find it's very useful for interviews, CVs, and so on. But put a small description of what you do, what you did, right, in the previous company, what technology you use, and try to use the STAR technique. Gave you a situation, gave you the activities that you achieve, gave some results. I was playing with Kafka. In previous company, I was playing with Kafka. They had my last project was like they was having problem with the load balancing when we start and remove nodes. So I implemented the static assigned nodes, and then this improved the quality of the code and improved the number of rebalances. So they save money, they save cloud storage, and so on. Put numbers, put facts. So that's what they want you to do. And be careful when you try to grow abroad. Sometimes you work in a huge company in your country. For example, I usually to work in a bank in Brazil, and that bank, and when I moved to Ireland, people doesn't know about that bank, right? My CV was like he worked in a bank, but they don't know. But that bank was one of the biggest one, and the amount of volume of data they do in transaction there is 10 times the size of the country that I moved on. So put in your CV when you work abroad, when you try abroad, explanation of that company is a bank, but that company is the biggest one. The amount of transaction is bigger than the country that you're on. So once you try to apply abroad, put kind of a small explanation of whatever it was the company, because they don't know. And again, when talk about CV, less means more. There is a famous book, The Peter Principle. This book is from 69, I guess, 70 or whatever. Peter Principle is about the laws of the company, but there is one nice statement of the book that is the concept of seniority is local. And what this means, seniority local means in the company A, seniority is going to be one thing, and the company B, seniority is going to be another thing. So that means that a senior guy in the company A could be completely different of a senior guy in the company B. So don't block yourself. Don't put blocks, abstract your fear, and don't put blocks in yourself. So if I have 2 years experience and I'm going to send a CV, Doesn't matter if the title of the job say senior staff plus 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 or master principal, master of the verse. Doesn't matter. It's not me who is going to judge. The company should judge me. So I'm not supposed to be afraid to send my CV there. Again, the fear of I'm not going to deliver a task or I'm delayed to delete a task and going to be fired. This happened to everyone. So it's going to happen with you, even if you find the juniors position. So once you unblock yourself and you send your CV, even if it's that position that you don't think comfortable, the worst scenario, the person who is judging is not going to call you, and then it's okay. You don't lose anything. But if the person call you, that means that he's okay with you. So don't go in the interview and say, I know the position is for senior, but I'm junior. So don't do it. That don't say anything. Go confident. They already invite me for an interview, so they know what I'm capable of. They know that I perhaps don't know half of the things that in the job description, but that's okay. So unblock yourself. Seniority is local. And again, if you are junior in one place, you can be master universe in another place. And people's learning different velocity and different forms, right? Like people learn more in reading, people learn more writing, people learn more about listen. So if you put two persons and write in the same project, in the same company, in the same team, after 6 months, they are going to grow in different levels. So don't unblock yourself. Don't block yourself. Don't put forget about seniority. Best way to send the CV is force or brute, right? You send CV everywhere and you don't care about that thing. If they get in touch, if they call you, it's because you're already there. So don't say it. I'm not confident. I know the position senior. I don't feel as a senior. Don't say that. And then all job inspection are going to put a list of technology, right? Not, they are going to, as the picture, they want someone with 5 years experience, Olympic gold medals, and super power. So don't bother about the all the technologies. No one is going to know all the technologies that's going to be on the job spec. And nowadays, more in common, at least here in Europe, they are adding all the technologies that the company uses. So they put in the JavaScript as a front end. They put the technologies that they use in back end. They put the technologies that the data engineer or the data science use. So no one is the DevOps use or the SRE team. So no one is going to know everything. So you're going to look at the job and ask it React as a JavaScript or CSS designer, ask Java as a backend, ask a functional style, ask Scala, Spark, and ask database, and ask Terraform. You're going to say, fuck, I don't know half of that. So don't worry about that. Right. If the position is for backend or this position is for front end, and you work as a backend or you work as a front end, you're able to apply. As I said, don't put a barrier for yourself. You not judge yourself. Who needs to judge you is the company. They are going to judge you. And if they call you or get in touch, it's done. So this is a picture of one of my teachers. So I'm a software engineer. What's a superpower? So on the interview is basically three parts, right? First is the code challenge, then is the system design, and then is the cultural fit. Of course, some companies doesn't do one of these three, doesn't do a little bit different, but majority of the companies, if you think of the famous one, the Fang and the bigger ones, they do this. The code challenge, there is no mystery. You learn, right? The idea is learn the basics. You need to know the data structure. You need to know how to use big O notation, memorization, BFS, DFS, breadth first search, deep first search. Learn all the techniques and be aware that majority of the coding challenge, they don't want the answer. If you go there and answer doesn't talk with the person, normally it's a call, right? Everybody's remote nowadays. They do a call with you. If you answer the code challenge in 10 minutes and doesn't say anything, you're going to fail. Again, they don't want the answer. They want to talk with you. They want to understand how you think, how is your approach for getting the answer. Majority of the times, they gave it the enunciation, the instructions, it's missing some points. For example, what's going to happen if the value is bigger than zero? They gave the instruction for calculate something, the value is bigger than zero, but they don't say what is expected when the zero is less than. So you need the SQL. So they want you to to read the thing, understand, and fill the gaps, right? They want you to ask for filling the gaps. Don't start to put your head down and start coding. Talk with. And sometimes when the person realizes that you're able to answer, he starts to talk different things. For example, I'm Brazilian. Hey, are you Brazilian? I've been in Brazil end of 90s. I'm in Brazil early 20s. So they start to talking with different things outside of the code challenge on the middle of you're doing, because they want to see how is your reaction. You get angry, you get nervous. Are you able to continue with the code and sometime continues the conversation with him? And again, the guy wants to get a sense about you. Are you nice? Do you listen? Do you follow the lead? So the idea is less means more, right? Listen more and speak less. But again, you need to show your line of way of thinking. So don't care about the answer, right? The second part is the system design. The system design, normally they gave you a broad question, right? For example, calculate the number of words in a file. They are going to give you a scenario like, imagine you have infinite resources, you have all the compute power of the world, you have infinite disk space, you have the best broadband, you don't care about troubleshoot or throughput. And so they gave you a broad example. And then once you answer, the idea on the system design normally is a whiteboard or you draw remote, right? And once you answer, then they start to narrow down. And then here there is a trick part. If you know the technology, for example, I know Kafka, right? So if I'm going to do a microservice, I can say, now let's use Kafka here for doing this because I know. And normally they see that and you say Kafka, tell me more about Kafka. So whatever you say, they use it against you, right? Let's put a Spark. You know Spark. Let's talk about Spark. So the technique here is when you don't know the technology, try to avoid. So instead of saying Kafka, you say, here we can put a stream service or a message queue or something like that, right? So you didn't say the name of the technology. So when you say here is stream process, could be anything, and they are going to ask. Perhaps they're going to ask, do you know any one of that? Let's put a MySQL here. I don't know too much about MySQL, or if you know, you can say, let's put a MongoDB here. So be aware of the technology they are going to use against you. And then the last part is the cultural fit. The cultural fit is your part to engage. So learn about the company, learn what they do, and engage with the person. That is, show your fun. That's the part, show your fun. And they are going to see you as a passion. Of course, you need to be nice, smile, hear more than talk, right? Listen more than talk. Never ever puts barrier yourself. Don't ask, sorry, my English is not right. Sorry, the position is senior. I feel as a junior. Don't say those things. Never put barriers. They are going to judge you, and you're not supposed to judge yourself. Don't say anything against you. Again, less you say means more. And then, of course, when you talk about interviews, those are the famous books. The Design Data Intensive on the right was Mark Clapton. This was best-selling in 2018. The book is in 2007. Was something just for data guys, streaming guys, but nowadays this book is a must. All jobs interviews are going to ask about the content of this book. And then on the left side, the Microsoft partners, again, everything today is microservices, even if they don't use it, right? Don't get me wrong. Sometimes the company doesn't use half of the things they are going to ask, but they are going to ask it. Microservices and streaming. We are 10 years ago was big data, right? Now is the velocity, times on fly. So data stream and database stream. They are going to ask those. And then there is those famous system design interviews, volume 1 and 2, Alex Chu. Those are the books. If you got the books, and you're going to be able to be doing the system design part. And then you achieve the salary negotiation, right? And then on the salary negotiation, it's really simple technique. Search. You have LinkedIn, you have Glassdoor, you have Google, right? You have loads of technologies, loads of websites. Search, and you're going to find the estimation or a kind of range of the salary. So So let's say I'm looking for backend Java, a software engineer. Search, you're going to find the values there. I'm applying for a company A that doesn't give any range on description, but I found the company B that it's the position is similar and the salary, let's say, is 7K. So once I apply for company one and they ask it, go high, say 7.5, and they are going to say, or be honest, like I saw a different company as where they are showing a different similar opportunity, and the value was 7. So I believe I'm able to ask 7.5. Be honest, like I don't know, that's what I'm asking. They are not going to say no. They are going to talk with you and they're going to say, look, this is too much for us, we are on that range, or they're going to say okay, and so on. So never ever put the value low. And think about, if it appears with the last iPhone here, the phone is, I don't know, 3,000 euros, a new one, and I try to sell you for $200. Of course, you're going to think like, oh, what the heck? This is something wrong. The phone is broke. The phone is a fake. It's false. So it's the same. If you have 5 years experience and you ask like really low salary, they are going to see you as a fake. They are going to like, what? There's something wrong with this guy. And again, never ever don't say the value. If you don't say the value, the person will think you as a weak or you as a silly. Put yourself as a shoes of the entrepreneur, of the owner of the company. You always want to hire the best one with the low price ever. So if the candidate doesn't say how he wants, of course you're going to offer the low, because you look, this silly guy, he doesn't know how he wants. Let's offer him the minimum. So never go for a salary negotiation or interview without saying a value. Just say higher and say more than whatever you see. I saw another company that was 7.0. I'm asked 7.5. It's more than what I saw. And show this for them. Then you prove that you're not silly, you're not anyone, and you know about the market. In the worst scenario, they are going to say, okay, this is like the maximum that we can achieve, or this is our range. Other thing is talk with people. I know in Brazil, when you ask salary, it's kind of controversial and it's kind of too personal. People don't talk, but in Europe, it's normal. And people, when they ask about salary, they don't ask about a specific value. It's about range, right? So say, how much you earn, and people say, between 50 and 60. So it's a range. But talk with people, search online, find. If you find only one, use that one, and think yourself, if you like the value, put a 5% extra, 10% extra, and go in that value. And then there is a small technique here. Once you got the offer, like in the better scenario, like in the better, you're going to apply CV in different companies. You're going to do 2 or 3 or 4 interviews at the same time. Hopefully, you're going to receive more than one offer, right? But doesn't matter. In our process, they're going to ask you if you're doing interview with other companies. Always answer yes, even if you're not doing. This is going to give you time for give the answer on the end, because you say, look, I'm waiting other companies. This is going to relieve you from depression, and this is gave you the opportunity to negotiate salary. So let's say I saw another company 7.0, I asked 7.5, I did all the process, they liked it, they offered me 7.5. Once I got the 7.5 offer, I said, okay, I'm going to think it about, I get in touch. Even if I'm not doing interview in any other company, even if I don't have any other offer, I'm going to get in touch and say, look, I really like it, or by mail, right? I really like it, but I want to know if we can negotiate this value, because I was doing interview in other companies, or I have other offers, and I was wondering if you guys want to pay 80. I really like it. So always when you got the offer, try to add at least 5 to 10% extra. So if you get 7.5, you can go for 82 and a half or whatever, right? If let's say they offer me 80, try to go 88. Can you pay 86, 87, or 88 or 85? Try to put more. And believe me, once they gave you the offer and they hear you saying that you have an offer from another company, they are going to see you as a perfect candidate, because look, this guy passed in another place, so he is really good. So we really want one, because we already spent time doing the interview. We already like him. We already know him. But he's good because other companies offer, so they will say yes majority of the time. And believe him, no one never ever remove kind of a offer. The worst scenario, they say, look, I cannot put this value, 7.5 is the maximum, and so on. So then you negotiation thing. So thinking about that, right? And then the last part here is the first picture that I took when I was 1 month working in Dublin. I'm from Brazil, right? So working abroad. So when you're going to work abroad, the main thing that you need to learn is about visa. Learn how the visa process works on that country. Learn English, right? Doesn't matter if you're going for a country that is not English speaker. English is going to be the lingua franca. So you need to learn English. You need to know, learn and know English. Use the communication. Be confident, and you need to learn about the visa. Majority of the companies doesn't know how the visa process works, so you need to know, and you need to tell them, you need to teach them, you need to show that the process is easy, it's possible, it's whatever. So learn about the visa. And when you go in an interview, the guys, do you have visa? No, but I know how to apply, I know the process. Go on this website, right? Works for me. Like, your English is better than me, so go on this website and read the instruction, you're going to understand better than me. So know the details, know about the visa. This is give you kind of a good step ahead of the others, because if in the interview the guy asking your visa and you don't know the answer, you say, yeah, I don't know, they're going to say no, because they don't want to bother the troubleshoot of trying to find out how I'm going to deal with this guy that doesn't have visa. There is loads of other guys, local guys, that I can hire straight away. And then the other things is the time, right? When you hire someone, you need to wait 30 days for the period that he needs finish with the other company, sometimes even more, right? The notes. And then depends of the time of the visa that you have and the country, you can start on the next day. So I don't have the visa, I can start working next day half time or part time until you fix in my visa. But I can start tomorrow. If you hire anyone in the market, you're going to need that wait at least 1 month for the notes, and show them, and then use the brutal force. Forget the CRM, unblock yourself, send CV everywhere, and you're going to have the opportunity. So the takeaway here, right? Communication is the key. Yeah. Actually, unblock yourself, lose your fear, don't put barriers for yourself. Communication is key. Write, read, and creativity is craft. So practice. Share your knowledge, share your fails, share everything, share every day, small things. Remember, it's about the journey. Show your fun, right? Put your fun, do it because you like it, because you happy, because it's something that makes sense for you. I like it. I like hardware and hockey, so I build something for play hockey. I like reading data from a sensor, but instead of reading a temperature sensor, I read from a game that I create a game on the top. So show your fun. People will see this as a passion. Open your mind, learn other paradigms, other languages, more paradigms you learn, more basic stuff you learn. Compare between them, more you're going to grow. Expose yourself, more events, send more CVs, share technology, create content, go in events, go in meetups, hackathons, join Discord. It's like, as more you expose, more you're going to grow, more your connection is going to do. Remember, life is about connections. In interview, less mean more. In CV, less mean more. In interview, less mean more. Listen more than talk. On the code challenge, don't bother about the answer. Listen what the guy is saying. Listen the enunciation. Fill the gaps. Ask the questions. Show your line of thinking. That's the main point. On the system thing, always going to be a broad question, and then be careful with the words that you're using. If you know about stream technologies, you can say Kafka. If you don't know about streaming technologies, say message streaming, say something broad. If you know about MongoDB, say MongoDB. Or if you don't know about MongoDB, say MySQL. And add your focus and use your niche, right? It's not about Java. Java is too broad. It's Java and Kafka, or Java and Raspberry Pi, Java and hardware. More niche you go, more relevant you are going to be. more sense your more value you're going to bring for the community, more value the community is going to bring for you. And again, don't blog just because you saw my talk, just because you want visibility. Blog because you like it, read because you like it, write because you like it. Do the things with your fun, as bring fun for your career path, bring fun for your life. So on the end, you need to have fun, right? Your career path should be fun. So I have the privilege to say that I work with what I like. I have fun doing it. So it's nice and I'm happy. So I hope you make able to get some points, apply this in your life and have your fun. So